Hello, Astro friends. On this 14th of January 2025, it's Melanie with the Astro Weather for the week going until the 20th of January. So we are quite in a time frame here, astrologically and world events wise, since we're coming out of the full moon, the first full moon of the year yesterday. What a powerhouse! Opposing the sun, end of Capricorn, which approaches Pluto in early Aquarius. Now we're really in this juncture of old world structures, hierarchies, organizations, government, Capricorn, and systems, and also humanity coming together, Aquarius, right? So we see that in the sphere, in the astrosphere, so to say, of the full moon, which I'm showing you in a minute. And of course, we had the Mars occultation. In other words, 5 hours after the full moon, the moon covered the Mars disk from Earth perspective, both on the same level of the ecliptic, a really rare event with a full moon covering Mars, and Mars being currently retrograde, being also the brightest in its 2-year cycle, since it is illuminated by the sun. The sun will go opposite Mars tomorrow. So that's a halfway point of the Mars retrograde phase as well. So a lot is coming together with that full moon, and a lot has come out with that full moon. The full moon, every full moon illuminates and also brings things to fruition, right? It's as a model of the harvest moon again. And then, of course, the week is also framed by next Monday's inauguration of the 47th President of the United States. So I might do an extra feature about that, either via video or via blog article, to look at the charts for the inauguration of Trump of the United States in relation to that. There's a lot that can be said about that. I set up the charts and looked at them. And then, of course, we have the wildfires around LA. And I have charts for LA and for California as well. Let's see how the time goes in this video, and whether there's time to explore that a bit, or I do that separately as well. Lots going on. So yeah, we need to talk about the full moon, since it's still so much in the energy field, and of course the themes that came up with the full moon, they roll out at least for the rest of the Capricorn season, which is the 19th, so the weekend, and easily also into the early Aquarius new moon, which will be on the 29th of January. So here is the chart of the full moon. As you can see, the moon here, Cancer, close to Mars. In the meantime, of course, overnight the moon moved into Leo, but yesterday evening after full moon, the moon moved over literally the little red disk of Mars, and Mars is retrograde. And here you have the sun and Pluto. So even that combination is a super charged powerhouse of dynamics. What's going on here? The end of Capricorn, a reverberation, a reflection of Pluto over the last degrees of Capricorn in the last years, and now over in Aquarius. In the meantime, fully initiated by the next new moon, the 29th, in Aquarius, close to Pluto. Yeah, so we're in a shift of eras here, right? And this is what this is humanity's process and evolution, and this is what individuals, what humans, what people, what families need, like literally a roof over the head, right? And also basic needs taken care of, while this wildfire ripped through people's homes. Very much Mars retro in Cancer. And we have also the T-square to Chiron in Aries, ruled by Mars, right? So this is a T-square. This in itself is yet another very sharp and very crisis evocative theme here. Aries is about emergencies. It's also about emergence of new, yeah, a whole new approach, right, to things. And this is also where, you know, you could also say emergency measures weren't really provided and couldn't be provided for various reasons, right? So that could be a failure in leadership, in resource management, and all that. That's Capricorn. And with Aries also first responders. What's going on? Something needs to happen now, right? And that's very Aries. So I'm not really laughing, right? So it's kind of just so, wow. And Chiron says this is the wound currently that in some regards people are reacting so much to various things. But on the other hand, the first response and the immediate presence in crisis is often compromised by various factors. Then we have also Lilith, wild Lilith in Libra, also in T-square with a full moon. So all in all, it's a grand cross, a grand cardinal cross. So here is Lilith, right? This is about choices, right? And also, yeah, are things in place in terms of balance? No, there's lots of imbalance happening, whether it has to do with, again, the people who are chosen to be in leadership, whether it has to do with various choices that are being made that have led to this crisis. And yeah, so this is an intense moment that shows us all the bigger evolution that's actually in the making and in process. As I said, Pluto in early Aquarius, the first major configuration for Pluto in Aquarius, right, since November 19th. And so now it comes out where the evolution is needed. In other words, systems need to be scrutinized and transformed and re-established in better, more sustainable ways, right? And yeah, so that could have also affected us personally if we have any planets, sun, moon, ascendant, nodes at the end of the cardinal signs. So end of Aries, end of Cancer, end of Libra, end of Capricorn. And so maybe a shift in your system is also much needed, maybe urgently so. Maybe there is new choices are being made, right? So yeah. Then let's take a look at a few other features of the week and tie together to the full moon. You can probably also see them in the full moon chart. Let's go a bit systematically. The sun tomorrow, the sun in Capricorn opposes Mars. This is what I said, the halfway point of Mars retrograde. Now, right, Sun and Mars are exactly opposite. Mars is the brightest in its 2-year cycle, right? So it really, the whole Mars archetype is lit up by the sun, the Earth in between, and as it's also retro, so that's also a lot of that energy of right in the United States, especially, and Canada, Cancer countries. Then Cancer with the moon, especially, having to do a lot with the people. So what do people need moon-wise and want? Mars-wise, right? So there can be a lot of upset right now, lots of anger with Mars, hopefully also leading to proactive and constructive action. What needs to happen to make the countries and our homes safer and better place to live and to raise families, all of that Cancer, right? And yeah, and Mars in Cancer is per se also the most challenging position. Mars is exalted, the best position traditionally in Capricorn, where there can be a consistent and persistent and enduring, not enduring, in what's the word here? So yeah, so basically persevering is what I was looking for, a persevering of a outcome-oriented project, right? So really carrying on until the job is done. And with Cancer, the energy can really fluctuate and can be really dependent on our emotions and our moods and all this. And it can be also a lot of um, outlets of desires and wants, and even anger can show up emotionally, right? And so there is a lot of upset at this point. Mars, as I said, is still retrograde until the 23rd of February and still in Cancer until the 17th of April. So a lot can shift and adjust itself, maybe through these Martian catalysts, hopefully not through violence and outbursts in that regard. And yeah, Mars retrograde. So the sun now shines the full light on Mars. So, in other words, we need to come to that solar consciousness that in Capricorn, especially, right, which is about responsibility and integrity and reliability of leadership and of good organization, right? When things are well planned out, that's Capricorn, and organized, it's in general safer, right, for everybody. Then, yeah, the sun is now in the end of Capricorn until it enters Aquarius on the 19th, exactly at 12 noon, very interestingly. And the end of Capricorn now, this last third decade, has a Virgo undertone. So with Virgo, it's also about skills, it's about organization, it's about really using what we're best at, what each person's best at, and working with that and providing that, and then in Aquarius, contributing that. So that might come up if you have personal planets there, of course, right? And also at this time. And right, so, but then, as I said, this was hugely challenged with the LA fires. Then, just wondering whether I should bring those in now. No, let's talk about the transits of the week first. So, Mars opposed by the Sun tomorrow, the 15th. Then we have the next major transit of the week is the 18th, that's Saturday. We have Venus in Pisces meets and passes Saturn. Sorry, is my computer waking up? Venus in Pisces meets and passes Saturn for the first time because she will go retrograde March 1st till April 12th. And then she will re-enter Pisces and again meet Saturn, sorry. And so this first one is on January 18th and two more to come on April 7th and 24th. So what's with that? Venus now behind Saturn. Venus is exalted in Pisces. She's really well positioned per se. That means also this is such an openness. This is such a yeah. It's basically it's a big cosmic love affair, if you will. It's us being yeah, really, it's a transcendence, it's unconditional love, it's availability, openness, connection, oneness, one love, all of that. Venus in Pisces, yet maybe not so noticeable due to the Saturn doorman there, right? Saturn in Pisces is can hold Venus back, right, from being really having faith and allowing ourselves to really dive into and be really open for what's to come, and yeah, trust that, right? So Venus will pass Saturn. Saturn can be a protection, as I said, but it can be also a fear factor, right? So we might also hold back from that Saturn perspective, maybe from experience of saying, hey, this is not the time to connect or to really be all out there and so open, right? And yet, when Venus passes Saturn, that really helps. And love is always stronger than fear. This is the first contact. More to come in the Venus retro process. Now, we're having also, as you see in the chart, it's not exactly on this week, but speaking of Pisces, there is Neptune at the very end of Pisces. And this year, Neptune and Saturn will already try on Aries over the spring and summer. For Neptune will be from March 30th on, March 30th on. Neptune will for the first time enter Pisces, while the enter Aries, while the North Node goes backwards. The nodes always go retrograde, and the North Node will enter Pisces. So they cross paths literally on the day after the node goes into Pisces, which is the 29th of January. That's also the day of the Aquarius new moon. While on the 30th, 30th is the crossing of paths of Neptune and the North Node. So this is an incentive. What sort of incentive is this? End of Pisces, at the very end of Pisces, where everything is coming together, where it's also a big release, a big letting go. So a big letting go even for all of us. What we carry regarding residues and vestiges of the Pisces age, right? Pisces age, so much suffering, so much need for salvation, so much spiritual and religious orientation for these reasons and for others, of course, right? But also a lot of dependencies, right? Lots of codependencies. So, where are you too codependent, and where does that need to let go of, right? And where can you also open up to receive? Maybe you've been too much in that Virgo mode where the South Node is going now. In other words, too self sufficient, too much insular in some regard, right? Rather than open out in the ocean and connected in the ocean of love and oceanic connectedness with all that is. And so, where do you need to open up more? And also release to release these fears, release all sorts of old baggage about that. And yes, definitely letting go of all these dynamics from the Pisces age, especially all these codependencies of victims, of perpetrators, saviors, and so on, right? So all of this comes to light, and it's time to relax, it's time to release, and would be beautiful also to do a ceremony around that, around the new moon. Maybe before the new moon, typically better to release the old. And yeah, so they're also coming together. Then we are having this week, as at Saturday, Venus Saturn. Then on the 19th, the Sun enters Aquarius. So that will start to bring quite a shift, because then on the 27th, Mercury will enter Aquarius as well, but Mercury is really strongly positioned. And the new moon in Aquarius on the 27th brings a lot of Aquarius energy. Nothing in Capricorn left until the next Capricorn season. And that would be a big notion for sharing, openness, transparency, freedom, all of this. So the sun entering Aquarius, so in other words, also going over the Prometheus point. Now, what's the Prometheus point? I call it Prometheus point, Capricorn Aquarius. You can call it various things, also like community building is one more, accessible term. Prometheus being the mythological figure who uh, climbed up the mountain of the gods, Mount Olympus, to uh, to claim the fire of the gods for humanity. That is a very Capricorn Aquarius motto and motif, right? And of course, he was punished for that with the Zeus or Jupiter's eagle picking on Prometheus's liver, the organ associated with Jupiter, and the growth organ, and basically putting him into place. And yet he was indomitable, and that punishment could not be upheld. Actually, Chiron, who also was part of this full moon, as I said, right? Chiron, the wounded healer, the shaman, he made a connection with Prometheus and made also a plea for amnesty for Prometheus, and allowed Prometheus or facilitated for Prometheus to be free. And that was a game changer, because now everybody has access to the gifts of the gods, and everybody has access to the light, to the enlightenment, and also to healing, right? Chiron didn't want to position himself as the top healer that everyone's dependent on, right? So all of that comes up with that Prometheus point, with the Prometheus myth. And so we need to step up and claim our freedom, right? That's pretty much the theme with a Capricorn Aquarius, where the sun is moving to and meeting Pluto. So Pluto being the big transformer, Shiva energy. I just randomly, interestingly, yesterday I had a conversation with a friend on Facebook Messenger, and he talked about Shiva, and then I was reminded of the Shiva Ratri, right? And I said, yeah, Shiva Ratri should be also, is typically at this time of year and so on, right? And I looked it up. It was actually the first day of the Maha Shiva Ratri, which happens only every 12 years. And they have astrologers who calculate the alignments that need to be in place for that. But it's pretty much every 12 years, right? And that is a Jupiter cycle, and it typically ends with the Shiva. Sorry, I was talking about not Shiva Ratri, but Kumbh Mela, right? The Kumbh Mela is a big festival of the confluence of the three rivers, sacred rivers in India, where everyone is taking a bath. Lots of pilgrims this year. 400 million pilgrims are expected. Yeah, let that sink in. So, the Kumbh Mela will be the Maha Mela every 12 years, right? Every 4 years, a regular Kumbh Mela. And it ends with Shiva Ratri, the night of Shiva, which will be also the night before the Pisces new moon. That will be this year on the 27th of February. And so the whole the whole Maha Mela goes until Shiva Ratri, the 27th of February. A big, huge festival there. Anyway, and that also started yesterday with that full moon and the Mars occultation. Check it out. So a sun Aquarius, right? So apparently it has to do with Aquarius, also the Kumbh Mela, because Aquarius being the water bearer and the vessel that the sacred water is being contained has to do with the water of the confluences of the three rivers. But I don't want to mix things up here with not enough in-depth knowledge. I just want to, give you a little inspiration to dig deeper. Now, okay, so what's going on this week moon-wise? Yeah, yesterday the full moon, that was quite the powerhouse. Now we're having the moon in Leo today, pretty much all day since 1:12 a.m. and tomorrow, Wednesday the 15th, and until the 16th at 8:45 a.m. Moon in Leo, yeah, much more again out of this hypersensitive energy with Moon Mars in Cancer, becoming more in a expressive energy, maybe also playful energy, maybe also more confident energy, and yeah, so Leo wants to be seen, wants to be loved, wants to show their colors and show their love, and so let's bring it on, and yeah, and show it in various ways, right? And not be timid and not be shy. Then the moon will be in Virgo from, as I said, Thursday morning on, almost all day Thursday, all day Friday, Saturday until 7:33 p.m. So that's a very earthy energy, right? When you have the Capricorn Sun and the Virgo Moon. That is an excellent, especially the waning moon, excellent energy for clearing, for cleaning, for getting your house in order, for clearing your closet, for anything that simplifies, organizes. It's also the last part of Capricorn with Virgo undertone, so extra lots of Virgo, right? Getting things done is great. Also looking realistically at situations, assessing and doing your inventory, all of that can be very, very supported with this moon in Virgo. Also some health and wellness practices, picking those up again if they had not yet for the new year, and starting that routine. Then we have the moon going into Libra on Saturday evening, being in Libra also for the welcoming of the Aquarius sun energy on Sunday, as I said, right at 12 noon, the 19th. And again, the energy shifts to double air, right? So you have more of the fiery energy currently, and then very earthy, and then more air energy, more lightness, and also more relationship orientation. Also, since early Aquarius is also has a Libra undertone, while the moon will be in Libra, so double whammy, right? So anything that has to do from the early Libra perspective with collaboration, justice, social justice, fairness, all of that comes up a lot in early Aquarius and with the Libra moon. And yes, and then on the 20th, still Libra moon until 8:34 p.m. Pacific. So for the inauguration day, Libra moon and Aquarius sun and Pluto. I will do an extra video on that. This is too much to pack into today, into this. Let me see how far we're going now. Yeah, let's stop here, and we'll do a separate one for the LA fires with the LA and California chart. Now, yeah, I think I covered everything here for this week with a little review of the Cancer Capricorn full moon, and I leave it with this. So you can see me again in next video, next special one in this case, and I sign off here. Wishing you well. Bye.